Money, to get your money.
Look,
Stop, I've got a knife. Come on, your stuff, give me your stuff.
But wallet's in my back pocket.
Come on, what else? What else? What else?
No, that's my dad's ring.
Do you want to get stuck, do you? Hey, you chase me and I'll kill you, okay?
Bye, Martha.
Where's your fancy chain?
Don't miss much, do you, Sergeant?
Well, I'm old school, aren't I? Observation is paramount, not like you youngsters who just dive in.
That's what I did.
Eh?
Last night, got lucky. Must have left it at her place.
You left your watch as well. Cool, you must have been distracted.
She was.
Well, I hope you can summon up enough energy for a tidy beat.
It'll be you trying to keep up.
Listen, years may take a yard of pace, but they give in wisdom.
Did you say a yard of pace, Sergeant Hollins?
Mrs. Tembe says the thermostat's gone. She'll have my proverbial for garters if... You okay? I'm here.
Difference between a charge under Section 39 and a charge under Section 47
Offences against the Person Act.
of 1861.
Under Section 47, where the injuries exceed those that can be suitably reflected by common assault, requiring significant medical intervention and or having permanent effects, would see a charge of actual bodily harm normally preferred.
Very good.
That could also include psychological harm that involves more than mere emotions, such as fear, distress or panic.
Clever clogs. Although how they can say that fear, panic and distress are mere emotions beats me. Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you've genned up very well for your exams. Whenever?
Next week.
Sergeant, tip it.
We hope.
Oh, you'll fly it, just like your dad. You know, he took great pride in pulling my chain every time I misquoted an act.
He was like that.
That's why we called him the Book. Not because he went by it, because he bloody memorised it.
We could also name every player who'd ever played for Barnsley.
I'm sure we could name every good player that played for Barnsley.
Steady.
Yes. Zara.
Do you have some time?
Depends.
I have what might be a solution.
To what?
The partnership situation.
Oh.
I've been thinking about what Heston said, and we think, that the practice might benefit after all, if you were to become a partner.
But you'd need some convincing.
It was never against you personally.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
So what do you think?
Well, I think I'd like to hear some more.
Of course, we need to discuss terms.
I'd also
and...
like to hear the catch.
Catch?
Yes. It's in my nature to check a gift horse for fleas.
Hello.
Is that hello?
And what we have here then is an out-of-date tax disc.
Yeah, a fortnight.
which means that the driver has been using the motor vehicle on the road without tax and is failing to display a current tax disc.
And today his luck has run out.
Everyone gets a reminder. So unless he's got a statutory off-road notice, the car's illegal.
Letter of the law, eh?
And today's letter's B for bad luck.
Robbery in progress. Malik's convenience store, High Street. Any unit in the vicinity, please attend.
7348 responding.
Don't mind me. 7244, I'm within. Oh, we'll be eventually.
Not experienced?
Not as experienced as Julia.
Oh, I suppose she's run a battalion's logistics.
In terms of the practice.
Oh, well, I'm sorry I can't compete with St. Julia of the Mill.
This is actually to your benefit.
Really?
Yes. Daniel, Heston and myself will take up the bulk of the extra investment, which means we're taking on the majority of the risk.
But I get the smaller share.
It's still considerable.
Maybe, but it still challenges my definition of partnership. Get out! Get out! Get out of my shop! Please! Let go! Get down! Let go! Get down!
Not so nice on the receiving end, is it?
Get off me! Get off me!
Put that away, sir. Thought you'd gone for an early lunch.
Yeah. Very funny. Do you want me to call it in?
Yeah.
7244 to control. I'm requesting mobile backup, please.
Apologised. Say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Out. You want to rest?
Oh.
Suspicion of robbery.
Okay, sir.
Obviously, your background does bring its advantages.
But obviously there's a question of my judgment.
Who said that?
Wouldn't the smaller share mean I have a less say in the decision-making?
No, you would have an equal voice.
So an equal partnership?
Effectively. But if you're not interested...
I'm interested. I was just making an observation about the setup. I wasn't ruling myself out.
So that's a yes.
I'll have a look at the figures, see which stacks up.
And then?
Well, let's just say my decision's pending.
Colin.
You bet. It's the third time he's done that shop. Good to catch him in the act.
Nice work, Tibbet.
Credit to Sergeant Hollins.
I heard he reached the scene at top speed.
Yeah, right.
Well, I'm glad to nail this one. Put an end to the spate of robberies on the high street.
Think so, boss?
Well, intelligence points to a single MO. Any more than matches the description.
Yeah, it's a one-man crime wave.
Might not be one guy.
What makes you say that?
MO's fairly common and hoodies aren't exactly unusual.
Yeah, well, you watch. The stats will go right down.
Reckon?
Listen to me, son. I've got wool on my back.
Now, for those of us who don't speak fluent Yorkshire, that translates as experience, right?
Yeah, that's right. OK, then. Come on, Super Cop. Who's going to write this one up?
Flip you for it.
Well, as senior officer, I should assert... Heads.
How's your typing finger?
Oh, you always were, Johnny.
You wanted to see me?
Yeah, you got a moment?
Well, I'm in between playing battleships and staring out of the window, so go for it.
It's about Lady Gaga.
Well, I'm a bit more into the vaccines, to be honest.
My patient, Melanie Simons.
You call her Lady Gaga?
Yeah, wacky makeup, barely there clothing. It's an associative thing.
Right.
I wanted to discuss your treatment plan.
Well, what's wrong with it?
I just wanted to say how impressed I was.
Okay.
Your follow-up to the ectopic pregnancy was exactly the treatment pathway that I would have chosen. And she seems to think that you're very empathetic.
Well, Daniel says I have the bedside manner of a nerdy sociopath.
Well, I would not believe that everything that Daniel says. I try not to. And actually, Gaga is not the only one who's been singing your praises.
Singing praises of Mrs. Tembe, a fan?
Karen.
Gobby Hollins? What's she been saying?
Give me it! Give me it! Give me it! No!
I did not steal it.
Gobby Hollins is my patented invention.
I came up with it because A, she's Gobby, and B, her name is Hollins, ergo Gobby Hollins.
No, but she has told me that you've been being rather brilliant with Jimmy.
Yeah, well, somebody had to puncture that Celtic melancholy.
He's come through it, though.
Well, why don't you ask him yourself?
Perhaps I should.
And what about you?
Me?
Well, things haven't been easy for you. Have you got someone you can confide in?
Are you chatting me up, Dr. Husky?
No, absolutely not. Of course, don't be ridiculous. Just asking if you have a friend.
Well, I've got my girly network.
Yeah, I'm not talking about whinging over Chardonnay.
Well, it does it for me. Now, let's talk about the treatment pathway for Miles Allen.
Assault in progress. Alleyway, adjacent High Street and Broughton Road.
7348 responding.
Give it to me, please. Give it to me. Give me the laptop. Give me.
Police!
Give me.
Okay, sir. So when I say keep taking the pills, I really do mean keep taking the pills, okay?
Thanks, Doctor. Thank you.
Well, well, Super Cop strikes again.
Attempted robbery and assault.
Are you hurt in any way, sir?
No, I'm fine.
Look here.
Although this is new territory for Mr. Rennie. Robbery.
You know him?
We've had our run-ins, haven't we, while you were in the bright lights of Manchester. Petty dealing not paying the way anymore, Tom. And of course, we respect your right to silence. Lock him up, would you, Denzel?
I'm not going in a cell.
Of course you are. Put him in his usual room.
Move it.
No.
I want to report an assault
No, that's okay, sir. The charges have already been made.
against the arresting officer, Tippett. I want to report him for assault.
Tell me you're joking.
No. Lewin said that Steve attacked Rennie as soon as he got there.
What, he's saying that PC Tippett used excessive force in making the arrest?
Well, I asked him that.
And?
He says it wasn't excessive force, it was all-out assault.
Hands or baton?
Baton. He already had it drawn when he arrived.
And was Tom Rennie in possession of a weapon?
No.
But he was carrying out a violent assault.
Aggravated.
And did the victim sustain any injuries?
Well, Dr. Clay examined him, but it was just superficial.
And Rennie?
Well, he didn't complain of any injuries.
What, he hasn't been examined by Dr. Clare?
No, I thought...
Hollins!
Dave Tippett was my mate. I've known Steve since he was a toddler.
That's no reason.
And he's a good officer.
He's been accused of assault. Look, if you came into this office to ask me if we should follow this up, then yes, we follow this up.
Can I get you anything? You know, I said I'm here. And I mean it.
Please, I can't talk about it. Don't ask me, because I won't be able to hold it together.
Howard, have you looked at the proposal yet?
You know, sometimes there are more important things to talk about other than business.
I'm sorry,
We'll talk at an appropriate time. That wouldn't be now.
Of course. It's fine.
Could that have been done by one of our buttons?
Yeah, it's consistent, yeah.
Were you in possession of a dangerous weapon?
You know I wasn't.
Did you discard one when the officer arrived?
No.
But you did resist arrest.
It was me who got the kicking. The officer assaulted me.
That's a very serious accusation.
Yeah, well, it was a very serious kicking.
Do you want to make a formal complaint?
You're the cops. Who's going to listen to me?
I am.
And what about a judge and a jury? I've got form. He's the law.
James Lewin, the man you were robbing, has already made a formal complaint against PC Tippett. Which means you've got a witness.
You asked him to stop?
The robber?
PC Tippett?
Yes, he was hitting the robber with his truncheon.
And had the robber, Thomas Rennie, punched you, kicked you, or tried to harm you in any way?
We struggled.
How?
Over my bag, my laptop. He was trying to pull it away.
Wouldn't it have been wiser to let it go?
The laptop has the book I'm writing on it.
Must be important.
Oh, it is. To me, it's a reference book. An introduction to Francis Bacon. I lecture in philosophy at the university.
Important enough to risk your life for?
I've been working on it for several years.
But did you feel at risk? Physical risk?
Yes.
And PC Tippett intervened?
Yes.
So you were glad to see him?
Yes.
And your assailant, did he resist arrest? Did he fight with the officer, try to get away?
The officer drew his truncheon almost straight away, and as soon as he saw the man, Rennie, he just seemed to lose control. Rennie tried to defend himself, but the police officer kept hitting. I asked him, pleaded with him to stop.
And he did?
Eventually.
Did you hit James Lewin during the robbery?
No.
You threaten him?
I might have.
Might have.
Yeah. I was robbing him. He looked easy, but I knew it was a laptop. And he wouldn't let it go. I needed him to drop the bag, so I might have said I had a...
Like what? A gun?
A knife?
Well, at least if I had a knife, I would have been able to defend myself.
From whom?
From the copper.
Have you met PC Tippett before?
No.
Is there any kind of grudge between you and this officer?
Look,
is there any kind of grudge?
I done him.
What do you mean, done him?
I robbed him. This morning. I jumped him and I took his stuff. He's got me back good and proper, hasn't he?
Rennie didn't get close to you by the look of things.
Good band technique, taught by the best.
So you got your chain back?
Pop round to the girls' place.
When did you have time to do that?
Lunchtime. She's not far off the high street.
James Lewin has made a complaint of assault.
Rennie's already.
So has Rennie.
That's ridiculous.
What is? That they should corroborate each other. You gave Rennie a hell of a beating.
He resisted.
I've seen the bruises. Your batting is for your own protection.
Yeah, it was self-defense.
It was an attack. We know. We know that Rennie robbed you. We know that he robbed you and you were out for revenge, which is why you ran like fire to that first robbery, because you thought it was going to be him. And when you got to the second one, it was. And then you dished it out.
He jumped me from behind, said he had a knife.
You're a police officer! You're a police officer. What would your dad have said?
I didn't see him coming.
Give me the money!
Thought I should warn him.
Look, stop! I've got a knife!
Tell him what I was. I thought, what if he's a cop hater? I'm dead for certain, so I staged stun. Let him.
Chase me, and I'll kill you.
I was angry. I wanted to...
You wanted to what? You wanted to get him back?
I wanted to arrest him.
Then why didn't you? Why didn't you just follow procedure?
I got angry.
You lost it.
Yeah, I lost it. I wanted to kill him.
Don't say that in an interview.
I don't mean kill him, I mean...
Give him a hiding.
No.
Give him a proper hiding.
I didn't mean to.
You mean you didn't intend to?
Well, I suppose it's to his credit he's not denying it.
Yeah. I suppose.
You were close to his dad?
Mm-hmm. He was a proper bobby. You know, knew his patch, everyone knew him. He was the law on his beat. I mean, I'm not saying that he did everything by the book, because he didn't. He loved his bikes. He loved big bikes, 500cc, 1000cc. You wouldn't catch me anywhere near him, but that was his thing. It's why he transferred to traffic, actually. And then one night, after a late shift, he spotted a wanted armed robber in his car, and he gave chase. Anyway, the guy stamped on his brakes. He went straight into the back of him. He never stood a chance. And then at the funeral, I mean, Steve would have only been about 6 years old then. He wanted to carry his dad's cap, which is against procedure, but the chief constable said, "Oh, let the lad have it." So he followed the coffin, swelling with pride. There wasn't a dry eye anywhere.
We have a duty to follow.
I know that.
Would you like me to?
No. No, it should be me, please. Please, sir.
Of course.
Do you know what that guy might have done if I hadn't arrived?
I...
He'll do some time, he'll come out, then he'll probably do it again. Worse.
I can't help that.
You didn't have to say anything.
I did.
I saved you.
I'm sorry, but I couldn't have gone home tonight thinking you might do that again.
I wouldn't.
Are you sure?
Stephen Tippett, I'm arresting you on suspicion of assault. You don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence.
If you don't mention, when questioned, something which you later rely on in court, anything you do say may be given in evidence.
Wild Justice.
Sorry?
That's the title of my book, Francis Bacon. Revenge is a kind of wild justice, which the more man's nature runs to, the more ought law to weed it out.
Right. What does that mean?
That the law is there to keep our baser instincts in check. Did I do the right thing?
Do you feel like you did the right thing?
Yes.
And you did?
Our son is attempting a Colditz.
Sorry?
Planning an escape. He's been trying to get out of his cot for the last week. He can already get one leg up onto the bar.
Has his father's flexibility?
Would landing on his head with disastrous consequences also be down to his father's DNA?
Uh-huh.
I think he needs a big boy's bed. What do you think?
Well...
With a bed guard, of course. Transitional and yet safe. What's so funny?
Well, you've already planned it.
Planned what?
The next stage in our son's life.
I'm just being practical.
Yeah, you're being you.
And what is that supposed to mean?
Sorry.
You ready?
When Dad died, it was you that came to the house to tell us, wasn't it?
So what, now I'm a control freak?
I merely said that I knew you already had it planned.
Well, I could hardly leave it up to you, could I?
I'm still glad you asked me.
So you can make me feel like I've just presented you with a fait accompli?
No. You made me feel like his father.
You are his father. I can't be expected to shoulder the burden of that on my own. He's our joint responsibility. Nothing's going to change that.
I can't do this anymore. It's
humiliating. You have to.
Barely a first date, and already I have you in my bedroom. I wonder what my parishioners would say.
Just one moment. Privacy. Yes, please.
If he wants to, he'll find a way.
Tonight on BBC1.